Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Dee. Today we'll be talking about 10 more things that you must know before coming to America, and this is part 2 of the video. Alright, so the first thing that I would like for you to know is that once you come to America, you will have to learn how to drive on the right side versus driving on the left side, which some of us used to do, because I come from Kenya, and in Kenya we drive on the left. So when I came here, that was a whole learning experience. I had to learn how to drive on the right side, okay? And also, this applies also to walking for the most part. When you walk on the sidewalks, a lot of the people, you will notice that they tend to stay on the right side of the sidewalk versus the left side, all right? Number 2, public transportation is a little bit more difficult, I would say, because in Kenya we had, buses and what we call matatus that are very, very readily available throughout the day, to take you from point A to B. But once you come to America, just bear in mind that you may have to learn how to drive depending on the state that you move to, because the transportation is very, very slow. For instance, for me, I moved to Texas when I came here, and the buses are very, very slow. So just bear in mind that you may have to learn how to drive if you don't know how to already. All right. Number 3, there's a thing called daylight savings time. And basically what this is in the spring of every year, the time actually springs forward. So what happens is the clocks change and they add an extra hour to every day. So that means the sun actually sets later on in the day. For where I am, it's normally around 8:30 p.m. And then in the fall of every year, the sun sets actually sooner, so it gets darker, earlier on around 5:30 p.m. as opposed to, in the spring. All right, so that's number 3. Number 4, we'll talk about childcare. And childcare is actually pretty pricey in America. If you're a parent and you come to America with a child, just bear in mind that, you may have to spend some money, especially if they're not going to school already. You'll have to pay for daycare if you don't have anybody to watch your child. So just remember that that's an extra cost that you will have to spend, on your child if you're working and you need somebody to watch your child. All right. Number 5, another thing that shocked me when I came here was there's no house help in America. So if you came here by yourself and you have a child, you will have a really hard time, because back home we have house helps that would cook and clean and, take care of us when our parents went to work. But once you come to America and you're by yourself and you have a child, just remember that you may have to find you'll find it really difficult, to juggle a job and a child. So just remember that, you may have to, look for other help, to take care of your child. All right, number 6, homeschool is actually an option. Now, this is something that I didn't know when I first moved here, because growing up in Kenya, we all went to public school or private school. But in America, when I came here, I found out that, actually you can school your child from home, which we actually do with our children. So yeah, that's an option for you. If you come and maybe you're somebody that travels a lot, you can actually homeschool your children and make it easier for yourself. Because if you put them in public school, they'll be expected to be there every single day, and if you can't do that, that's going to be a problem. So yeah, just remember that that's a good option that you have in America, and now it's actually more prevalent in the world because of the pandemic. But that's something that I didn't know when I first moved here. All right. Number 7, in some of the U.S. states, you cannot actually leave your child at home until they're a certain age. So when I grew up in Kenya, our parents could go, to the store, leave you at home, even if you are younger than 10, you could stay home by yourself. But just remember that in America, when you come here with a child, just look at the laws of the state that you move to, because they may not allow you to leave your child by themselves unattended in the house. You may actually get in trouble. They may call what they call child protective services on you if somebody finds your child by themselves. So just be careful when you move here with a child. Know that, in some states like Illinois, your child actually has to be 14 before you can leave them at home by themselves. So just bear that in mind, okay? Another thing you have to remember is, if you're driving in a vehicle, you have to be buckled up. If not, if a police officer finds you, they may give you a ticket, because everybody has to be buckled up. In Kenya, where I grew up, especially back in the day, we didn't have to get buckled up. So that's something that I had to learn and get used to once I moved here. All right. Number 9, all the rules on the road have to be followed. So if you get to a stoplight, you have to stop at the traffic lights. You have to yield to other drivers. If you get to a yield sign, that's something that doesn't happen a lot back home. People just don't follow the rules as much. But in America, you must follow the rules, or I mean, you can cause a lot of trouble and wrecks on the street if you don't follow the rules, because everybody follows the rules for the most part. So yeah, just bear in mind that that's something that you'll need to learn once you come to America. Follow the rules on the road. All right. And number 10, the metric system is different as far as measuring weight, measuring different things. Like if you taking the weight of a person, in America we go by pounds as opposed to in Kenya where we used to go by kgs or kilograms. And also, like, the weather is in Fahrenheit in America as opposed to in Kenya. They measure their weather or the temperature, in Celsius. So just bear in mind that those are the different things that you will have to know that are different in America as opposed to, the country that you come from. So guys, yeah, those are the 10 things that, we'll talk about today. We'll do a part 3 because, guys, there's so many things to talk about that are different here as opposed to Kenya. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like this video, share this video with your friends that may be thinking about coming to America. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so we can let you know every time that we upload a new video. Thank you guys for your time. Have a good day.